Hey everyone, thanks for joining in and we are getting back. So one of the questions is like why I'm missing from this channel. There are a lot of things that are going on right now, but let's get back to the track. And to get started with, let's talk about a full stack JavaScript developer roadmap in this particular video. So this video will guide you through the entire set of stack or set of technologies that you need to learn in order to become a JavaScript developer. This will focus entirely on JavaScript side of things. There will be a lot of things around JavaScript, but there will be a lot of things around like a basic tech stack or general tech stack that are required to become a full stack engineer. So it will be combination of both. But moreover, we'll be talking about JavaScript frameworks, libraries and tools along with other general tools. Without further ado, let's get started. So whenever I give some roadmap or tutorials linked to anyone, I generally suggest this is the first thing they should do. I'm talking about internet fundamentals. A lot of people, when they start with web development, they directly jump into HTML and CSS. I'm not telling that is a wrong way to do it, but there is a better way to do it. First, start with internet fundamentals. When I talk about internet fundamentals, it typically involves learning about DNS, learning about how browser works in general, and whenever you are creating a website, how whenever you type any link in your browser, let's say google.com, how it renders entire web page, go to some places, bring that web page to your browser. Learning that mindset, which is very helpful in the coming forward, because when I deploy this website, for example, you can see here, it talks about like what are the DNS, what are the IPs and other stuff, right? So eventually it will help you in long run. If you understand fundamentals, that is the best thing you can do. Once you have learned this, you can get started with HTML and CSS. So let's take a small analogy. So let's suppose you are building a house. So when you build a house, you build a structure first. So that structure is HTML for our web page. It will give all the structures, and then you style your house. You paint, you color, and you provide some tiles and stuffs, and you paint. That thing in web page is the CSS, it styles your page, right? And then you add functionality like switches to turn on the light, and for example locks for like locking the doors, windows and stuff. That is like interactivity, that is functionality. That is JavaScript in our web page. So these three analogy, I hope it is clear. So what you have to learn in HTML? In HTML, you have to learn all the basic HTML fundamentals, learn about semantic HTML, learn about all the tags that are available and when to use which tag, learn about inline components, block components, how table is made and how lists are made and certain stuff, right? So this could be sufficient for moving to CSS. But to move to CSS, you start with CSS fundamental, learn about flexbox, learn about grid, positioning in CSS animations as well. Up to this point, you should be able to make a web page, style it and make it responsive. What I mean by responsive, when you see that website in a mobile browser, it looks good actually. So this can consist of like all the things that you require to have a static website, not interactive, but look decent, have some structure, and we can view that in the web page. Once you have learned these things, I would suggest to get started with projects. Build at least 2-3 websites. Don't need to have like JavaScript integrated, but just build a layout and some styling and responsive. Before moving ahead, I like to talk about the importance of building projects. I believe making projects and following a proper curriculum is a very important thing. And in this video, I'll help you with a solid roadmap for the same. Not just help you with the roadmap, but I'll also will recommend you a program known as cryo.do, which will help you surely make the learning process very structured and very easy for you. Cryo is the world's first experiential learning and upskilling platform designed for aspiring developers. One of the best things for Cryo is learn by doing approach. Cryo's learn by doing approach helps you develop practical skill with project-based curriculum focused on real life scenarios. You'll not just study theories, rather you will learn actual developer environment. You'll solve challenges and work on real projects on top tech companies such as Netflix, Amazon, Zomato and more. And the best part is all these projects can be added to a verified GitHub portfolio that you can show at interviews. Cryo.do has great panel of mentors, career coach who are themselves working on a big tech giants such as Google, Walmart and etc. Just picture yourself being guided by the seasoned professional and gaining industry exposure and invaluable tips. Cryo has transformed over 1,000+ careers already. Cryo graduates from various backgrounds have been successfully placed in 7+ companies across unicorns like Cred, Urban Company and global tech MNCs like Walmart, Deloitte, Amazon and many more. Cryo is also trusted and recognized by National Skill Development Corporation NSDC, which is an entity of Government of India. You can also explore cryo.do program to gain competitive edge in the industry and transform your career. I have provided the link in description of the programs. Make sure that you check it out and see how it helps you. This will be perfect for moving on. So once you move on, you start learning about JavaScript. Now you have to add interactivity to your website. Once you start with JavaScript, you have to learn a lot of things like JavaScript variables, JavaScript functions, scoping. There are a lot of concepts like closure, high order function. So once you start with JavaScript, you will get to know all about these topics. Just learn them. And once you learn these things, now you have to bring JavaScript to your web page. So you have to learn how to load a script into your JavaScript page and how to manipulate the DOM. So once you write HTML, it's basically a DOM and you manipulate that particular DOM using JavaScript. So you have to learn about that. So that would be a perfect point when you can get started with JavaScript project. So whatever you have built before in HTML, CSS, just integrate JavaScript and try to make the page interactive. For example, you were typing something, just check if you have typed email ID, it is correct email ID or not. This kind of small things. So right now you have knowledge of HTML, CSS and JavaScript and you have built small projects around it. So that's the perfect point to get started with. One of the most important thing that a lot of people miss out is DevTools. Browser DevTools is one of the core skills that you should have when you are a web developer. A lot of people still don't know access and use browser DevTools perfectly. They know little bit of things, but there are a lot of things they miss out. So you have to learn about a lot of things like console tab, how logging works, how you can view the network request, what are elements tab, right? What are the sources tab? You can see your sources, place a breakpoint, debug your code, right? Debugging is one of the most important thing, and this is the place you can shine when you compare yourself with rest of the developers, right? So again, HTML, CSS, JavaScript, build some projects, learn DevTools. Just to give you an idea that this roadmap will consider a lot of things that are booming right now and used by a lot of people. There are a lot of open source projects in regards to that. So we'll talk about major frameworks, major tools, but you are free to choose anything that you like. So moving on, once you learn JavaScript, you will find that you are doing a lot of work behind the hoods of HTML, CSS, and framework solve that itself. Framework abstract your JavaScript a lot, so you need to focus on what is required most of the times, not dabbling into modifying the DOM using JavaScript, getting the elements and stuff that are very simple in a framework. And one of the most famous and used framework is React.js. So you might have already heard about it. So there are other alternatives like Svelte, there are Angular that people use, but React is the most used one right now and one of the most popular in the open source environment as well. And there are a lot of things that are coming in daily in React.js ecosystem. So React.js, or you can choose Angular, Svelte or Quick or anything that you like, but we'll go with React.js, right? So in React.js, learn about components, learn about states, how hooks work, learn some design patterns in React. What you can do right now is you can take your existing project that you have built using HTML, CSS, JavaScript and inject React.js there, or build that the same thing in React.js. One of the things note here that when you are starting out, it's okay to use tools like Wait or Create React App to scaffold your React app, but you need to understand the basic behind working of a React app. There are a lot of things like Babel, Webpack that works behind the scenes of a Create React app. In beginner, it's okay to use, but later on you should break entire Create React app and understand what Create React app does in between and behind. Now, one of the things that are booming and used a lot is Tailwind CSS. So if you have studied CSS, Tailwind CSS is a utility framework that provides a lot of classes that you can use in your HTML directly. And Tailwind CSS have a lot of good community support right now. You can find a lot of good components, templates around Tailwind CSS. But there are other tools that lies around the React ecosystem that you need to learn once you evolve and build big projects, such as Just-Tongue, your Redux, Context for managing the state, for example React Query, stuff for doing certain other things. But these are not necessary when you're learning the basic and fundamentals. This will be necessary when you have a requirement for that. Nobody knows the entire thing. Whenever they need a requirement, they go to the docs, see the docs, understand it and just use that in your project. That's it. That's the bare minimum. One of the most important thing here to note now is once you have a basic understanding how entire general ecosystem works, build 3 to 4 projects, that's good enough to see the component libraries. There are a lot of component libraries like Material UI, Fluent UI, Native Base, SAD CN UI. I'm not sure that I butchered your name, but this is the one of the most important and awesome project that I've recently used. So there are a lot of this kind of library that you can use in your project to not build the components from scratch. You can use their project, and this all are open source. You can just use that in your project. So again, once you have React, now you just go ahead and start building React projects. Up to this point, what you will have is a lot of projects, but where to host that? You might have heard about like Git and GitHub. Learn Git and GitHub. This is one of the timeless skill that anyone can have. You can apply this skill to anywhere. Each and every company use the version control system to manage their project. It could be different tools, but eventually it uses that. Git and GitHub is one of the most useful skill that you will ever learn. Learn Git and GitHub and host your project into GitHub. Go and push your project to GitHub. There are a lot of other technology that we don't talk about, but up to this point, you are a front-end developer. You can call yourself a front-end developer, but there are a lot of things that we missed, but you can call a front-end developer yourself, develop good front-end projects. You have to know how to consume an API. If there is no backend, you can have services like AppWrite, Firebase, Supabase to use in your project as a backend service. There you don't need to go ahead and act as a backend developer. They provide the backend as a service. You can use that and build your project as well. The ecosystem is really great. So let's move ahead to next part of the video. So for the backend side, before moving to actual backend using Node.js, let's talk about some meta frameworks. So Next.js and Remix are meta frameworks in React.js that is built on top of React.js and allows you to write the backend APIs as well. It's a framework, it's a full stack, they are full stack framework that allows you to write both the front-end and backend application in the same repo. So the connection between front-end and backend in this meta frameworks are very tightly coupled. If you are developing an app, it gives a right to develop a full stack application directly. So it makes things very easier as well and sometimes a bit hard as well. But a lot of people had adopted meta frameworks, and React official statement has also came like use meta frameworks for better things. Meta frameworks increases a lot of things, like it has better SEO due to some server-side rendering, it has better speed, better UX, better developer tooling as well, right? If you develop a Next.js app, Vercel has a lot of great tools and provide great developer experience for deploying and testing or doing like analytics or anything else in that particular app. So it's a great choice to have. Moving on, when you start with backend development, one of the most important things that you need to learn about is like command line tools. For example, if you develop on Linux or Windows or Mac or anywhere, basically you have to work a lot of time with terminals. For example, changing directory, making a new directory, copying something, removing something. This operation will come very handy to you, like running the commands in a terminal and stuff. So learning about CLI command are very important. Basic ones would be sufficient to get started, but with the time you can just line one-liner script to do a lot of things. So this will be very come in handy. Text editor, choices of text editor. I use VS Code. A lot of other people use VS Code, but you are free to choose with that. Get started with Node.js. Node.js is again a JavaScript backend technology which allows you to run like JavaScript at the backend. At the front end JavaScript, at the back end JavaScript. So there are a lot of things that you need to learn with Node.js, like ES module, CommonJS, HTTP server, how you can create your own route, and when you hit that route you get some response. These are some basic things that you can learn with Node.js. Under the Node.js as well, there is a framework known as Express that makes building apps super easy, right? You don't have to go deep into writing a lot of boilerplate code yourself, but Express.js makes it very easy. Once you have that, it's not mandatory, but it's great to have the fundamentals of Node.js, how like threading work, how event loop works, how task queue work. These are things that you should know when you are dealing with Node.js, because eventually your backend should scale eventually, but these are things are very important to understand. Once you start developing API, there are many methods like REST or GraphQL or TRPC. These are some methods to develop APIs, but feel free to choose based on your use case. So once you developed a backend application, there should be API from front end that can make call to your backend and get data. So for that, there are a lot of ways to do that, and REST is one of the REST is most famous one, but you are feel free to choose anything. Apart from that, you have to store data somewhere. When you're doing some backend operation, you can't store all of data like in your server itself. There needs to be some backend storage, right? For example, databases like MongoDB, PostgreSQL, MySQL are the famous one which are required for using used as a database for storing data. There are some ORMs as well, like Prisma or Mongoose, that makes things very easier, but that can be learned on the go, like not rigid that you should learn and get started first with that. So after this, I would suggest to get started with the backend projects, build some APIs, build some routes, and have some logic to do something in the backend, call it in the front end. So whatever website you have developed or project you have developed in the front end, you can use that and call this particular server. That would sound like a group project. But once you scale and develop more complex things, there are other things as well, like Redis, that you have to learn about things, where you can learn about API caching, rate limiting and stuff. Now you have a lot of knowledge of like front end, back end. We missed a lot of technology. We didn't talk about a lot of technology, but this will be enough to get you started. You should always understand that nobody can teach you, no tutorial, no roadmap can teach you entire thing one video. You have to get started, learn things on the go. So I've been in coding like 6 years now, but still look to the documentation and learn new technologies. People like with 15 years, 20 years experience as well do so. So yeah, you have to learn on the go and keep learning. One of the most important thing, again, last thing we do not talk about is security. Front end, back end, both security are very, very important. I as a front end developer know a bit about it, but not a lot about. I wish I could learn more about security, but security are very, very important things. There are a lot of other things like E2E test, writing test, unit test, deployment, interview preparation and other stuff, but that can be done on the go. So the basic roadmap was this, and I guess it should help you in some way, not the perfect. This is not a perfect roadmap, but like it could help you in some way understand the overall thing using this video. Go ahead to the resources, learn from the different sources. You can go learn with any sources, learn from anywhere and start building projects. That's it for this video, and I'll see you next time. Make sure that you check out cry.do. That is a great platform to be if you're looking for very structured content and a guidance. I'll see you next time. Till then, take care, bye bye, and see you.